Hey everyone, it's Liz and welcome to another video. It is like early evening on June 1st, Sunday, so happy Sunday and happy June. I just wanted to make a quick video. I had a couple things that I had to do today, so things have been a little bit busy, but I did want to hold to my goal of making my kind of like May recap video. So if you're interested in seeing kind of like how May went for me, then definitely keep watching. So I am really only going to focus on the major change that I had in my system, and I'm still using all of my books, thankfully, but I did add something that I'd mentioned in my most recent voiceover video, so I'll be able to show you guys how that has been going so far. But first I want to talk about my bullet journal and kind of do a quick flip through of May. So my bullet journal, all in all, I really have enjoyed being in here, but for some reason, once mid-May hit, I felt like I hit a brick wall, and the things that I was okay with all through April and for the beginning of May, it turns out that over some time, like I was just feeling unfulfilled. And if you'd watched my recent voiceover video, I talked pretty briefly about how I had been using an overflow journal to add the rest of the memories that I wanted to capture from a day in there once I was done picking the memories that I wanted to put in my bullet journal. And I really got just tired of it. I think for specific types of journaling, I can definitely separate them in different notebooks. That makes sense to me, but having two notebooks with the same type of journaling, that was an issue. The sun is setting. It's actually like 4 o'clock, but I have the window open, so I hope that's not distracting or anything. There are a couple of shadows, but yeah, I kind of got tired like having two books basically that I would have to use for my kind of like micro blurb memory keeping that I like to do in here. So I messed around in my 2024 Hemlock and Oak daily that I think I used all of like 5 months in, and they weren't consecutive, so I couldn't really see myself just using that for the remainder of this year. So I ended up purchasing a 2025 daily that was very heavily discounted, so I didn't really feel that bad like buying another planner. And I've been using that since like, I want to say the 15th is when I got it, but I bought it on the 12th. So I had been using my 2024 Hemlock and Oak daily for like a week and a half, and that was kind of when I knew like, okay, this can work for me. And later on in my bullet journal, probably around like the 20th or 21st, is when I started really struggling with the pages in here. And every one of the pages is written on. So I did go in every day and write something, but it was, I don't really know how to explain it other than to kind of just show you guys, but it kind of just was pretty chaotic. I'd focused a lot of brainstorming on my daily and making sure that that transition was smooth, but I didn't really take the time to focus on my bullet journal for May now that I would have my daily in it. So that was kind of where I had to figure out what exactly I was going to do. So May, I got my planner, I think it was around this week, and I literally like have not touched this since I set it up. I think I put all of these in here like the first like week of May. So this is kind of just a useless spread. I think at the beginning of May I'd mentioned that I wasn't going to continue this since I had a planner. So yeah, that's still the same. This is May 1st and May 2nd. I thought these pages were really pretty. I really like these. Friday, so pizza day with my daughter. This is my favorite spread. Saturday, May 3rd, and I also got some happy mail from Ellen's Journals, which was great. So I really liked the way that this spread turned out, and I really liked the way that Sundays did as well. I did post a YouTube video on this day So that was cool to kind of talk about. This is another one of my favorite pages. My husband wrote me or messaged me like a sweet note, so I had to put that in there for sure so I could kind of refer back to it. It was just words of encouragement, so that was really sweet of him. Yeah, I remember, I think I put like washi tape in one of my voiceover videos. I think I put this down while I was recording, and then I'm pretty sure this was the page that I started writing on, but I'm pretty sure I only did the weather and this here for one of my videos. Yeah, more pages. Things are kind of like getting a little bit shaky. Excuse that. Sorry about the sound. This was an okay day. I did write, and let me see if I can get this off. Yeah, so this was a decent day. I got a weird comment on like one of my videos that YouTube like flagged for inappropriate, so that was kind of weird. Yeah, that was my first like weird comment, and I don't know, like it just, I don't know. I didn't really know how to feel after reading it. I was kind of like, okay, like cool. Okay, so my second voiceover video was Mother's Day on the 11th when I put this candle in here. Funny thing is I actually can see, I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but there is like the candle wax, like residue, like the oils that transferred over to this page, and you can kind of like, I don't know if you guys can see that, probably not, but there's like a ring of candle like wax oil or whatever it is on this page, which I think is pretty funny. But every time I flip through this, like I still can smell the candle, so I'm okay with it. But yeah, these 2 days were really hard. I honestly like reached my limit on this day because whenever I open my bullet journal, I try really hard not to write more than just like a few lines here and then maybe a couple lines here. And it has been getting harder and harder and harder to do that. I love Leuchtturm paper. I love writing in it. I love the feel. I love how my pen just like glides on the paper. And I think one of the things that I really wanted to do was just first thing in the morning, this is the first book that I pull out, and then I just write. So it took some brainstorming, it took some time to kind of figure out how I was gonna do that. On the 13th, I kind of just blank slated and wrote. I did put some stickers and stuff in here. The 14th, I kind of split it up into 2 columns with some washi tape. The 15th and 16th, I did the same type of like half page type situation. And these 2 days were days that I decided to just brainstorm how I was going to use my daily. I got it on this day on the 15th, but this was in the morning. So I was just talking about how I was going to incorporate it into my system, what parts could potentially be lacking now that that would be something that I would have in it. And how I could like work through it. So I was kind of just talking about that all through here. The 17th, I kind of still tried to do the same type of layout with like the micro blurbs. My daughter also gave me this sticker from one of her coloring books. And I still just was not happy with the way that this looked. But I still kind of kept the same type of layout in here and just wrote. Obviously you can see like very few stickers, but I was on the struggle bus, so yeah. Okay, so this is where I hit a wall 100%. I had this today sticker on here for a hot minute, but when I came in on the 19th to journal, I literally just wrote, and that was all I could do. I did so on the 20th as well, and I just continued writing. I put like the little sticker up here and continued writing. So these 2 pages are actually from the 20th, and I didn't realize that I was doing it until I just like flipped a page and started writing. So one of the days later on in the month is 2 days on a page, so we'll get there. But yeah, these two, like the 20th and the 21st was really when I just hit rock bottom in here. I will not show the next 2 pages just because that's a little bit more private. Let me take this out here too. But yeah, the 22nd, I believe 22nd, yeah, 22nd and 23rd were just really rough days. So I just did the same. I was just writing, but I kind of just, yeah, we're not gonna show those. The 24th and 25th, my parents came to visit, so that was a really fun, like weekend. I did not have time to write a whole lot, so I prioritized writing in my Hemlock and Oak daily, and then I decided to just tape in some of like the receipts that I got from the day and put them in here. I wanted to save this receipt from Publix because there is like some wine that's spilled up here. You guys can't probably see like the difference in color, but my mom I poured her a glass of wine and like we were just talking, having a conversation, and all of a sudden like the wine glass like tipped over. So I wanted to save that in there because I will always remember that. And then on the 25th, I went to Walmart, which is, I don't normally shop at Walmart, but I was kind of like down there and Publix was too far away. So I went into Walmart and grabbed some cherries and they were so good. So I just talked about a really quick little blurb about how we were really enjoying cherries that day. Yeah, so I used like a no time to write sticker on this day because this is literally like all I wrote. And on the 25th, I went back in and decided to just talk about like the big things that happened during the day and then kind of just like put in some other stuff. So there's something on there, and honestly, like I'm okay. I actually really like the way that this looks, but I didn't have time to finish both my Hemlock and Oak daily, which is a lot bigger than this. I also like still didn't even really know how I was going to be using this like at the time. So yeah, I like the way that this looks. I think I'm probably going to come back to this and like reference it once like June, I don't know, like probably like the second to last or last week of June. I'll probably just mark this to kind of get an idea. I also decided to write in print for these 2 days, which was very interesting. So yeah, that's very different. Normally I'm writing in cursive, but you know, who knows? Okay, then to the 26th, I hit like a second again. I changed the date stickers to like these washi tape, like oval stickers, probably because I was thinking about bulk. And since washi tape is thinner than the die cut stickers I was using, I thought for a more long-term solution that could work. So I decided to just write in the mornings, and I just wrote, had some little like stickers to section off like the blurbs and everything. That's what I did for the 27th as well. And then the 28th, actually the 27th is when I posted my Happy Mail unboxing video, but I had used like a lot of the stickers and like stuff like that in my Hemlock and Oak daily, but I had a couple other things that I wanted to put in a journal. So I decided to just put it on the 28th. And I think that this is like super cute. I really like the way that this turned out. So I do like this page for sure, but I think this day and then these 2 days were when these like oval stickers were just really making me upset. So on the 28th and 29th, I decided to switch into doing something else, just because like let me find it. For this like type of layout, this is the type of layout that I'm doing in my Hemlock and Oak daily. So I have a vertical weekly from Hemlock and Oak, and I am struggling to remain consistent with it, like with the time blocking portion in there. And also I am kind of like looking for a health and like meal planning notebook and stuff like that. So to avoid buying something else, I'm going to transition my Hemlock and Oak Vertical Weekly to my health journal. I actually got a subscription, like a meal plan from Hungry Root. So I need to be able to like plan out a little bit more and have, you know, a separate notebook for all of that stuff. So because that one is really something that I've been struggling with, honestly, like from January of this year. I don't think I'm a vertical like time blocking person as much as I want to be, and as much as I see like a lot of other creators' spreads and I'm like, I want that. I can't be consistent in it. I'll have like a good couple days and then it'll just kind of like tank afterwards. So I'm done fighting it. I can kind of like, I guess this would be time blocking also, since they're number strips, but it's kind of like in a different way, maybe, or maybe it's the same thing. I don't know, but I feel more comfortable doing this than using my Hemlock and Oak Vertical Weekly, but that's perfect because it opens up for me to use that for my health planner. So that is in the works of me figuring out how I want to lay that out. But that's my intention going into June for that one. But yeah, back to my bujo. For the 29th and 30th, I kind of just, I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about this, but for some reason I think it was like on the 29th when I think I wrote like these two things, then I decided, I'm like, you know what, for June, I'm gonna do the exact same thing, because now like I have some type of structure on the pages and I don't have to worry about trying to figure out what exactly I'm gonna do when I wake up, since this is, you know, or it was, I guess, something that I would only touch in the mornings. Now that I'm time blocking, obviously I'd like jump in there in the mornings and then the evenings or afternoons. But yeah, at the time I was like, you know what, like maybe I should do this. When I was flipping through my April pages, I realized how much I missed like my time blocking in here. And I still have like quite a bit of weekday or like the time blocking strips from Happy Meal Studios. So I was like, you know what, like maybe I should time block in here because it's not working in my Hemlock and Oak Vertical Weekly. So maybe I should just bring time blocking back in here for June, and then that will kind of give me a like left and right limit of what I'm doing in here, at least for that month. And then it kind of just gives me some structure that I had not been okay with not having for the last like half of May. So that's what I decided to do on these two pages. And then like I don't know what happened on the last day of May, but for some reason I made a spread and had like a really good like idea. It just came to me and I really like how the page turned out, but I can't like go into June with it. Well, we're already in June, but I can't like do my June pages the way that the 31st looks, because I've literally already set them up with this type of layout. So I don't know, but I'm going to make a mark on that page, or like put a little sticky note on that page to come back to in July and see if I still feel the same way that I feel right now about it. But this is the 31st, how this looks, and I really like the way that this turned out. Yeah, I don't really know. I decided to put time blocking on the inside instead of the outside. And I also decided that for the micro blurbs, I wasn't going to separate them with a space the way that I do like in here. All the micro blurbs are separated in, or like with like one space. So I decided not to do that in here. And I really liked the way that this turned out. I do like the use of like different colors, and it's not really a rhyme or reason to them. Sometimes I'll match them to stickers because this little deadline sticker from TCMC is pink, so I decided to write in pink. But normally, like, I kind of just write and pick up a pen color that I just have the urge to write with. And I just really liked the way that this turned out. I think it was just, I don't know, like, I think it's really pretty. And every time I come to look at this page, I'm just so sad because I wish, not even I wish, because honestly, like, my first like page for June 1st in here is not bad. Like, I still like it too, but I think I probably like this more. I don't know. But the way that I kind of organized the page is just had time blocking with major events. So that it wasn't like exactly repetitive of what is in my daily, my Hemlock and Oak daily. In the mornings, this like sentence here, and then all of this is kind of like my morning rambling or like intentions of the day. That's kind of what I organized this with. And then I come in at the very end of the day, finish my time blocking, and then write like my main feeling about the day. So that was kind of what I did here, and it'll be a reminder to kind of like refer back to if this is something that I want to do again. But yeah, I have different plans for June, and I'm not 100% upset about it, but maybe I just don't need to look at this page for a little bit so that I don't make any rash decisions. So yeah, June, we are here. And I think, I don't remember when I'd mentioned it, but I'd mentioned that this was going away. So I decided to do a 2-page calendar spread. And I honestly don't know what I'm going to use this calendar for. I have written the 30th of May and the 31st of May to refer back to for inspiration. And then I actually went in here and just wrote, I feel excited for a new month. So I think I'm probably just gonna write like a quick sentence every day to kind of use it. But this calendar, honestly, like, it doesn't have a purpose, especially now that I have a planner. So I have like marked off the entire bullet journal to have like a calendar section, and I'll probably continue it and maybe come up with like a better idea. But I think like a sentence a day is simple enough. Like, I don't need to overcomplicate anything. So that's what I'm gonna do for this. And then here comes my different, like, things that look very different than they did in June. I have cat hair in there. Okay. So yeah, I mentioned the time blocking that I did on the 29th and 30th. So I decided to do the same like 2-page a day type thing. And I used Happy Mail Studios time blocking strips and Happy Mail Studios like number stickers. And then I decided to use my Salam Creative weekday stickers here because I really like them. I think I'd mentioned in my unboxing video last week that I was going to use these, so I definitely did. I do like the very minimal layout. So I know that I probably sounded like super regretful when I was talking about this page versus this page, but am I kind of a little regretful? Yes, just because I have my journaling sections and my time blocking sections split up in between like all the pages that I had sectioned off for June, but I am still meeting like my intent of time blocking in here and doing a morning reflection. So the first section of the pages I sectioned off for June is just time blocking, and I have them dated all the way through the end of the month. Not fully and like not completely, but at least like the numbers are there and like the line is drawn all the way to the 30th, which is on the back, and I'll get there in a second. So I'm just gonna continue doing these like micro blurbs of key things that happened or like main things that happened throughout the day. and kind of just put my weather down here and talk about it, and then I'll do my evening like recap of the day afterwards. So that is working pretty well for me. And then in the next section, so I think this takes up like 15 pages for my time blocking, and then in my journaling section I have like the weekly here, which now that I think about it, it doesn't really make sense that, I don't know, I just put like a sticker from Randy.plans here. Yeah, it's fine. And then I have like my little daily sections here, and this is the first page from June, from earlier this morning, and I decided to use washi stickers again for these days, and I kind of hate them, to be totally honest. I kind of hate them. I think I probably would have I'd rather have used my Daisy Papers, like die cut stickers, even though like the bulk would be really weird, especially since it's literally on every page now. But I don't think that I enjoy these stickers as much as I thought I would. I don't think I was really looking for like aesthetics when I put them on. I think I was really just using them for more functionality, I guess. Like when I would have to write on like the top portion of the page, it wouldn't be too bulky. But I don't think I like them. So I don't know. But I decided to date them all the way, or date the pages all the way to the 15th of June. So I will kind of see if maybe it's just because it's different. Maybe it's something that I just need to get used to, but all in all, I don't regret using them, just so that I can kind of keep reducing the bulk in some way. So yeah, I'm not 100% okay with these, but it's okay. Like it's not the end of the world. It's fine. And they're already down, so I'm not gonna pull them up. But yeah, so June is gonna be, I don't know if it's gonna be like chaotic. I'm not sure, but like there's a lot going on with like sections in the month now. So I'm gonna see if I enjoy doing that. But I think I probably will go back to the 1 page a day. One, just because I've blocked off like exactly every page that I would need for each of the months, but I just kind of like all of it being on the same page for that day. So I'm trying something new because I need to kind of like do something totally like left field to just, I guess, recenter me. And like, this is not chaotic. It's different, but I think this is gonna be something that is fun, and I can kind of like know what I'm going into every morning instead of like coming to like a blank page and I'm like, I don't know what to do. So yeah. Okay, so before I go to my daily, I just wanted to show you guys my planner, and I'm not really gonna get too in depth in this, but I am really happy with the way that this looks. In the Hemlock and Oak TN size, like dot grid notebook that I had, that was what I went into April and May with as my planner. But it was so small and the dot grid was really big, so I could not fit everything that I wanted to put in there on those pages. I'll show you the current week, and then that's really kind of like all I'm gonna talk about in here. Okay, so even though this is the most functional book in my system, there's always going to be some type of like decoration, stickers, like it's always going to be like that, just to make it a little bit pretty. But kind of just to explain how I'm using this. Like you can even see monthly calendars, like very functional. I'm really enjoying this a lot. It's really pretty, but of course I do have like some washi tape and stuff in there as well. But yeah, very quickly, I split this left-hand side into 3 sections. And thankfully, Hemlock and Oak actually has like dots splitting it into 3 sections on this page, and then 1 dot splitting this into 2 sections. So it was really easy to just find where I needed to draw the line and draw it. I have main events here, or like really happy moments. I got like Happy Mail. This is when I got my Coffee Monsters co-order and my order from Salam Creative. So I had to just write about that real quick. The middle section is for like my tasks that I need to complete or like have to complete during the day. And then this last section is really just for like reminders. If I had a really bad day, sometimes I'll put them in here. But yeah, it's really just reminders like water, like this one says Water Genevieve, which is my purple orchid, and then Water Genu, if you know, you know, solo leveling. And he is my blue orchid. So I like to use this really for anything, honestly, that I need to keep track of. On the right hand side, I split this in half, and then I had my running log that I really like to do before I migrated my planner to this notebook. So I decided that since there are a bunch of like check boxes on this page that are like printed in, I would use this for my running log. And honestly, like since I've been in here, I haven't filled them up. Like I haven't filled this entire page up. This day, like last week, I got very close to doing it. And then I didn't today, or like this past week, I guess. And that doesn't really bother me. Like I'm okay with that. I also like salvaged some of the packing tape from my Salam Creative order. So I decided to put that in there with like a cute sticky note. And then I have like my, brainstorming for my YouTube video up here, and then just tracking my subscription billing and stuff like that. So, and then also weather on the side, which I do have to go back in and put the weather for Sunday. It was beautiful and it was sunny. So, well, Sunday is today. So yeah, beautiful and sunny today. And then I'll kind of like fill in a couple things in here, but this is how I'm using my planner, and I really like it. So yeah, just want to show you guys that. Okay, so last on the list to talk about today is my Hemlock and Oak Daily, and like she is so big, and you can kind of already start seeing, we can definitely start seeing like the used pages, which is really cool. But yeah, so this is kind of what has taken over my like blurb memory keeping journaling type thing, and I have not picked up my overflow journal to like write in any memories I couldn't fit in here, because the pages, one, are so big, and I'm also able to like expand on those memories a little bit more in here because I have so much space in it. So let's talk about like the structure of this first, and then we'll go into the spreads. For this, obviously it's a 2025, so it starts in January, ends in December, but since my system starts in April and ends in March of next year, I would have to figure out what Q1 would look like now that I have this in my system. So since I got this in May, I obviously don't have my April pages like filled at all. I did go in and fill the monthly calendar for April, but I didn't do anything else for that because I'm just not focused on like copying in all over again. Like I'm not doing that. So those might stay blank, or just use them for scratch paper, like talking about my 2026 system when I really fully start focusing on that. Or just stay blank, like I'm okay with that. So for the first 3 months in here, for January, February, and March, I have already redated the monthly calendars, and I used my Happy Mail Studios like date stickers in here, and they turned out so well. Like I am not bothered by this in any way. And yeah, this is like perfect because now I don't have to worry about what's going to happen for the first quarter of 2026, because I know I can go in here. Everything will be current for 2026. The only thing that I haven't done yet is figured out how to redate essentially the daily spreads in here. I honestly am holding off on doing anything about this because I feel like once I kind of like think about it for a little bit, and once the time comes for me to actually move into this front part of the notebook, I'll have a better idea than like what I'm kind of thinking about right now. So I'm gonna leave these blank and kind of just, I don't know, just wait, honestly, because I don't really need to worry about anything 2026 right now. So yeah, that's how I'm gonna be able to complete, for the most part, like this entire planner, which brings me some peace too. Okay, so before we go to May, I wanted to show you April's monthly calendar. So it's a calendar, but because this is a journal, I did not want to use this in a functional way. So what I decided to do is just minimally decorate with my Simple Paper Co. stickers and then write memories, like very key memories that I wanted to remember from like a monthly perspective, to kind of give me a snapshot into how the month went. So I have two colors here, and the first is in black. Anything that's written in black is like shared memories that I have. So if it's with like my parents or my daughter or my sisters, my family, like it doesn't matter. If it is not just a memory specific to me, then it'll be in black ink. And then I kind of choose a color that complements the colors of the stickers for memories that are just specific to me. So I had a few in here, which was nice. But the majority of this month was definitely shared memories. So this is really nice to kind of look back on. I really like this. I also don't plan on using these like check boxes here, just because I'm not actually using this the way that monthly calendars usually would be used for like future planning and stuff. But yeah, so that is the April calendar. All of these are blank and probably will stay blank until I figure out what I want to do with them, but I'm not concerned. Okay, so this is May's calendar, and I love the colors of the Simple Paper Co. subscription for May. This was so pretty. So again, black is shared memories. I decided to go with Butterfly P. That's the color for one of my Uniball 1 pens. I decided to do that as like the offset color for my personal memories, and then as you guys saw in my bujo, I had written out a message that my husband sent me that I wanted to really keep. So I decided to write that in here as well. And I really actually like the way that this turned out. So I do not kind of set a time on when I fill this out, just because all of the memories are captured in the daily pages. So I really can just go in there, and I've already I mark off which pages I want to put on my monthly calendar as I complete them. So I already know which ones I want to put on this 2-page spread. So I can really go back at any time, like whenever I feel like it. So I have these two that I will definitely be filling in, and that's because my parents came to visit. So this will be in black ink. On the 30th, I had a personal memory. So that'll be in Butterfly P, and then I believe those two, or like these 3 days, are the only ones that I would be putting in here, I think. But yeah, that's what I can remember off the top of my head. So eventually I'll go in there and just write about these 3 days. But yeah, that's what I use the monthly calendar for, and I really like it. Okay, so on the 1st of May, this was my first test to see if this was actually going to work. And granted, I'd spent a little over a week in my 2024 Hemlock and Oak Daily doing this, but I kind of just wanted to sit down and use the 1st of May, even though it had since passed, but use this as a tester to see if I can, or like see how long it would take for me to pull up my bullet journal and my overflow journal and basically combined those entries for the same day into here. And surprisingly enough, I was able to fit like everything that I wrote on this page, and I was also able to write a little bit more about like the memories that I wanted to. So it was like shock. Like it was a shock. But it made me like really, really happy. So that's when I knew I'm like, okay, like I'm good. I don't have to worry about, missing any details or like anything like that. Like we're good. So I decorated the second, and I think I had every intention of going in after I'd completed this page to do it, but I didn't. But what I did is just prepped the pages. I will eventually go back in and complete these, but again, I'm not really concerned about them. I have the notebooks that I use them in, so I can really just do it at any time. Okay, so on the 11th, I think I already said that I got this journal on the 15th. So I got it on the 15th and decided to backdate to complete the week. So I started on the 11th, which was a Sunday, and then backdated or like copied in all of those pages from my 2024 Hemlock and Oak weekly or daily, and put them in here. So this was the first 2-page spread that I completed, and this these 2 pages made me so happy. Like I just felt so happy in this, honestly. Like I loved the space. I love like the layout, even though it's like the same layout, but it's just like a little different. I love the paper, surprisingly. This is 120 GSM paper, and I honestly really enjoy writing on it. So I really enjoyed doing these 2 pages. Like this was super fun. And then the 13th and the 14th of May, I went back in and stuck this down when I had gotten it, because all of this stuff is like backdated for the most part. So I could create the spreads however I wanted to, and I decided to just post in like my shipping sticker that comes with the order. And I really like the way that this looked. I kind of just like journaled for the day here. I don't know, like I think I just wanted to write. And then on the 14th, I really liked the way that this page turned out as well. So I really enjoyed the way that this turned out. The 15th is when I got my daily. So I kept the little calendar card in here and did some journaling, and this page turned out really well too. I really enjoyed this. And then this page turned out really well also. I put one of the stickers that my daughter had from her coloring book in here, so she was super happy about that. I just have something covered up here. The 17th and the 18th were kind of like a different vibe, but I honestly really liked the way that these turned out. When I tell you like I can write for days, like I can, and the fact that like I am just filling up these pages is really nice. I haven't hit, well, at this point in time in May, I hadn't hit a moment where I just didn't fill up the page, so that was really cool too. But I was also like prepared to kind of just move through whatever day it was that I just couldn't, write or didn't want to write or anything like that. But I really like the way that these turned out. Then on the 19th, which is kind of like the same time that I was really struggling in my bullet journal, so I kind of decided to take a different approach to this page and use more of like my PET tape stickers and Satelier stickers and stuff like that, and kind of just back off from my like fun like icon stickers and stuff from Randy Dot Plans, or like the Coffee Monsters Co. or like anything like that. I kind of just wanted to like do a more aesthetic vibe for this page and for this page as well. And I really like the way that Mondays turned out, the 19th. Like this one was really, really pretty. On the 20th, this was my downfall, and I think it matches when I had my downfall in my bullet journal. Let me see if it does, because that would actually be really tragic. Yes, okay, so you can see these, like the 20th in here and the 20th in here were there, it's matching, and I think that's really funny. But this is where I kind of hit, like, I was already kind of like hitting it here on the 19th, and then on the 20th, like, I feel like I totally tanked, and it was just bad. But on the 20th in here, I'd actually started writing up in this section and then whited it out because it was so bad. And I'll explain why. So I decided that I was going to try out fountain pens in here. And I normally only write with my like Sharpie S-Gel, Pentel Energel, or my Uniball ones. Like that's usually like the 3 types of pens that I'm using in here. But for some reason, I wrote like my morning entry in my bullet journal, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try my Pilot Vanishing Point in here. So I wrote up here, and the scratchiness of the nib was so bad that I could like barely write like in cursive. Like it was awful. So I ended up putting whiteout over this and some washi tape, and then instead of just going back to my Sharpie S-Gel, I decided that I was going to try again. And it didn't turn out too bad, but I still was struggling with like how scratchy the nib was. So of course, instead of just stopping and going back to my Sharpie S-Gel or Pentel Energel or like one of the pens I normally use in here, I decided to try it again. And I barely got through like a third of the page before I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And by that time, like I was just done. I put so much expectation on making this page look very similar to like the aesthetics of this page. And after like this, after this, like it was like, I couldn't do it. So I just finished out the page and kind of just scribbled in it, and called it a day. So this was a really sad page. Then it gets worse. I decided to write in print, but not like the print that you're seeing like in my bullet journal or anything like that. Like that is like peaceful print. It's not like chaotic print. This is so chaotic, and it's not even funny. I didn't even try or like work to make it neat or anything. I literally just wrote. I did pay attention to like the stickers that I wanted to use, but that was like the only thing I paid attention to. I think my only goal was to just write about the day, get it out there, and then call it a day. So that's what I did. This is actually when I started experimenting with, like different colors of the Pentel Energel pens that I had. And at the time, I did not care about the way that this spread looks, but I do like how this color looks on the paper. So I had used it like throughout May, which was really nice. Or like the rest of May. I actually did a 7-day challenge of like one color for the entire page. So you guys will see that later. But yeah, so this was a really bad day. I could not. On the 22nd, this was where I hit rock bottom. And I have covered this page up because 1, like the handwriting really sucks, but 2, I really did not censor anything in here. I was really struggling, and I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to look at this page at all. I still don't want to look at it. I'm not interested in whatever happened on the 22nd. I do not care. So I got a Pilot Kakuno that is medium nib, and it's my first medium fountain pen, so I didn't want to spend like any money on like a Pilot Vanishing Point because it's definitely over like $100 $130-ish. So I wanted to just get something that I enjoyed writing with, which I love Kakunas, but I decided that I was gonna just paste this in here, and then realize after the fact that they actually kind of like complement each other. So I'm leaving it in there, and that's, you know, we all have to have a few pages that turn out like this. So this is my first one. I'm sure there will be more, and I can't wait to tell you about them. Okay, on the 23rd, I kind of like found myself, or started to find myself again. This is where I decided to write with my Pilot Kakuno, and I kind of hate this page because I had started off with like a warm vibe, but then for some reason I inked my fountain pen with a more cooler vibe. This is like a gray, and I started writing and I was like, you know what, like I just need to finish the spread, maybe it's gonna be okay. I don't think I like it. I think the green line, like the warm tones, they just don't match each other. But you know, after this day, like the fact that I was even able to like do this was great. So, you know, it's the small wins that I was looking for on the 23rd. On the 24th, I decided to experiment a little bit more with my different colored Pentel Energels. And this is like a teal color, which is my favorite color. These two colors, teal and orange, are my favorite colors. And I also used a deep blue. This probably looks like it's black on screen, but I used a deep blue for it, and I don't know, like I really like, there's a lot going on. I think I just wanted to use multiple colors too, because I used one of my La Dolce Vita stickers here. But yeah, like this was a fun day. I also wrote sideways, which was really nice. So yeah, I really like the way that this turned out. I also have two plants. One of them is Genevieve. I think I actually mentioned that earlier in the video, but yeah, I have two plants, two orchids, and I wanted to save kind of like the orchid care here and just put that in here. So I did that. Okay, and this is when things started getting very, very fun. The 25th and, well, 24th, this night, was when my parents got here. And then the 25th, they left that, like the 25th in the evening, closer to nighttime. But I was feeling like very like green blue vibes. So I decided to start my challenge of 7 days and 7 colors. And I think we'll find out if I made it, because I can't like remember off the top of my head right now. No, I did not, but you guys will see why in a little bit. Okay, so this day was really great. I really liked the way that it turned out. This is what I had focused on. Like I just kind of put a couple things in my bullet journal, but I really focused on journaling on this page, and I actually did not touch this page until, man, I think it was like 9 o'clock at night. That's when I started writing. So I love the way that this turned out. And then before my parents left, I asked them to sign the bottom part of my page, which I don't know. I still, like, every time I see this page, I get so happy. This is the first time like I've ever asked them to like write in any of my notebooks. So they really did humor me. Like it was kind of a random question, and they were just like, where? And I'm like, anywhere, like it doesn't matter. And they kind of just wrote their stuff next to each other, that was really nice. On the 26th, I actually did not journal on this page. On like the 26th, I actually went back in the morning of the 27th and completed journaling for this. I wanted to really focus on, I wanted to feel inspired, and I didn't feel inspired on the 26th. And one of the things that I do every now and then is when I create like a spread that is just like, I love it, and it has like another page next to it, I want the same type of like vibe on both pages. Like I want this page to be aesthetic and like this page to be aesthetic for like my really, really like proud moments, or like pages that I'm really like inspired on, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but because this page is so special to me, I really needed like this page to really like this one had to work for me too. So I came back in on the 27th and filled this out. And the reason that I did that is because I got my order from Salam Creative and I really wanted to put this in my journal. But I didn't want it to take up the day that I'd actually gotten the order, because I had a lot to talk about during that day, and the 26th, I really didn't have too much to talk about because I wasn't working. So not much happened. So this was the perfect like section to paste this in here. And this was so hard to like take off of the box. Like, I don't know if you guys can see like this dark part right here. You might be able to see the dark based on like this color here. It goes a little bit darker. This is part of the cardboard of the box. Like, I could not like rip it off cleanly, but it got off to the point where it wasn't too bulky. And I'm glad that I had already written on the 27th, so I could just come in here and paste this down. But it's so slim that I probably wouldn't have had any issues because thankfully the paper is pretty thick. So yeah, I love this, and I love looking at them together. I think it's really pretty, and I think that's what I wanted, because this 2-page spread makes me really happy to look at. Okay, so this is day 3 and 4 of my challenge to use one color per page, and these two went really well too. You probably won't be able to see this too well because this is the Pickles color in my Uniball one, which, funny enough, I have been calling this color P, like as in like the green peas. And then I think I'd like taken a picture of this and pasted it, or like posted it on my story on Instagram. And when I zoomed into the pen color, it said Pickles and not P. And I was like, I have been calling this P since April. Like, since I got them when I went to Kinokuniya in April. So I don't know. I think I got distracted by like the butterfly pea. Like, my brain was telling me like, no, peas are green, or like this like greenish yellow. And I just started calling it pea, but no, it's the Pickles color from whatever. Yeah, so the 27th, I had randomly found this sticker on one of the like new pieces of clothing that I had. And I honestly don't know if I ever knew it was there, but I had just never taken the tag off. So I actually found it and took it, like I cut it a little bit and decided to paste it in here. And then that kind of like decided for me what I was going to, or like what color ink I was going to use. And I used my burgundy Pentel Energel in here. And I really like the way that this page looks. I also took the like labels off of the Salon Creative washi tape that I got and decided to put those in here. So yeah, this turned out really well. I like that. On the 28th, I really wanted to use this spring washi tape from Salon Creative. So that decided the color for me as well, which is Pickles. And I really like this spread. I also got my grass cut, so I got to use this really cute, like little chillin' in the grass sticker, which is so cute. So yeah, this was a really good page. Okay, and then we kind of just had some issues afterwards. So the 29th, I probably had one of the worst days at work that I've had in a while. It was just really bad, and I didn't want to talk about it. I just wanted to move on. So I come in the morning and kind of like wrote some stuff here. And then in the evening, I came back in and I'd like finished, I think I'd like added one more sentence to this page. And I was like, my cursive is not doing it for me. Like it was just really frustrating, and I was too overwhelmed. So I used one of my really cute stop stickers from the Coffee Monsters Co. And I wrote, I'm too overwhelmed to write in cursive right now. And oops, a bad word. Yeah, so it was just not working for me. So I started kind of like filling in some of the things, like the good things. That's all I really focused on. I just focused on the good things for this day. I talked about how my Chunky Weeks notebook was supposed to be delivered today, but it sat in one of the distribution centers all day. And I guess that's not a good thing that happened. I was really looking forward to it happening because to it arriving, because in this little section here, I talked about how my chunky notebook from, is gonna be getting delivered today instead of tomorrow. So yeah, it didn't. And I was just like, one more thing to just, make this day not good. So then I just kind of gave up and put an I'm so tired sticker from Rainy Dot Plans in here. I said I honestly can't even think about trying to complete this page. Work was trash. I want to forget today, but I can't seem to. And then I just put made Joe some tea. Put a little sticky note in here and said struggling to write today. And then I finished up with saying I had a really bad day today and I don't feel like finishing this page. I can't right now. And put like a no time to write sticker here. So this was a rough day for me. I kind of like looking at it though. I'm not even gonna lie. So yeah, I have a deep thoughts journal that I am not always in, but whenever I have those moments where I just need to decompress and write, that's where I will put most of those like just not so good thoughts, or just like when I'm really, really struggling, because I don't want to put it in here. I'm okay with the page being blank, or kind of, like this. So I think I'm going to continue doing that. I've always done that. And I think it's just mostly because I want to be able to, I don't know. I just want to separate a lot of those more negative emotions than putting them in here. Okay. So no, I did not complete my challenge. And I know this looks black, but it's actually like a navy blue. So this was still one page in color. This was supposed to be graduation day, and it was, but my daughter was very, very sick, and we ended up missing her graduation, which was, it was honestly okay. She's in pre-K, and yes, they were doing like the whole like cap and gown stuff, and it would have been super cool to like take pictures and stuff like that, but she didn't even want to go. So it was kind of like, we'll just spend the day at home together. So I honestly did not pick this up at all. I was kind of just focusing on spending time with her, because when she's sick, she's a lot more like cuddly. So we just really hung out, and spent some time together, and I just focused on caring for her and making sure that she was okay. So I honestly don't think that I will come back in here and write on this page, honestly. I probably will just keep this blank. What I will probably do eventually is when I get the prints for her graduation photos. I purchased them like a month ago, and I'm going to go get them printed pretty soon. So I think what I'll do is, I purchased 9 of them, so I think I'm just gonna do a little collage of her, like those photos in here, and just take up the space that way, because I don't really have anything else to say in here. Like, my baby was sick and we just spent the day together. For the 31st of May, I took a little bit more of like a reflective approach, since it was like the last day in the month. So I decided to finish out in color, even though I missed a page on, or like missed a day on the 30th, but I did, you know, some reflection journaling and stuff like that. I didn't really have much to say this day, so I didn't complete the page, but I just wrote what I needed to write and kind of just left it at that. And then this is just simple paper code deco, which I really need to start using more of now that I think about it, because I still have leftover stickers from April, from May, and actually I think I just used the rest of April. So I do have a lot more from May, and then I also have my June subscription now as well. So that's almost 2 months worth of stickers that I need to use now that it is June 1st. So I will go in after I finish editing this video and do my journaling for that. But yeah, this is really what this has been, and it's been really fun, honestly. May overall has been very interesting. I'm not gonna say that it's been bad. I don't think it's been bad. I just think that things kind of like did not go as planned. But I think we're still doing really well in the bullet journal. And I think in June, we're just gonna have some fun and kind of just try something new. I really do love that I have a planner now. So I'm enjoying that. And then I really liked my daily, honestly. I like the space, and I like not having to take out an overflow journal to do the same type of journaling. So yeah, I'm really enjoying these. This was a very, very, very long video, and the first of the month videos are, I think, always gonna be over an hour. I don't even know how much time we're at right now, but yeah, if you are like still watching, thank you. I appreciate it. But I did kind of want to give you guys a little bit more in-depth like flip through of some of my notebooks. And yeah, so hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed kind of like talking through it. I think it was really fun. I'm kind of itching to get back to my voiceover videos, because I have started to really enjoy filming myself, like setting up my planners and stuff like that. So I think what I'll probably do is film some of like the setups that I still have to do, and then just add them onto my next week voiceover video. So we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and please like and subscribe if this is your vibe. Bye.